Hi guys, today I will be reviewing for you Your Tea's Tiny Tea TEAtox. Your Tea's Tiny Tea TEAtox. I have to preface this review with some information on my previous views on detoxing. I've never done a detox, and to be completely honest, whenever I would hear people use the term detox, I would secretly roll my eyes. Based on what I had observed, many people use detoxing as an extreme way to make up for a few weeks of unhealthy living. For example, someone might go on vacation and put off exercising for a few weeks. They might eat a bunch of junk food and they might party every night. And when they get home and their body starts to feel the effects of a few weeks of neglect, you might hear them utter the phrase, "Ugh, I need to detox." These seemingly harmless words would instinctually strike a sense of fear into me because based on what I had observed, a detox meant that this person was going to torture themselves with insane detoxing rules, which usually meant food deprivation, until they were a fuming ball of stress and irritability, all in the hopes of shocking their body into some unnatural state of health. So you can see why I was a little skeptical when Your Tea contacted me about reviewing some of their products. After doing some research on their website, I found that the TEAtox is just one of the many tea blends that they offer on their website. They have teas that boost your energy level, teas that make you happy, teas that help with menstrual cramps, and teas that are specifically blended for men. I did notice that the Tiny Tea TEAtox was the most popular tea blend on social media, and after looking through tons of Instagram photos from satisfied customers, I was really shocked at some of the before and after photos. People who had been trying to lose a few pounds were finally able to do so by drinking this tea. People who had problems with being bloated all the time were able to fix that, and people who were working out were finally able to see some definition in their stomachs. This crazy positive feedback actually made me even more skeptical because I kind of thought it was too good to be true. Even if these people were actually getting these amazing results, there was no way that they were doing it in a healthful way. I assumed that the tea drinking instructions required you to do something unreasonable like skipping a meal, so I decided to do some further research specifically into the Tiny Tea TEAtox. You can find a list of all the ingredients in all of the teas on the Your Tea website. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. Essentially, all of the ingredients actually are natural, and they all have properties that help to nourish and cleanse your digestive system. And all of the tea blends were created based on Chinese medicine principles. When I researched each of the ingredients, I found that, in fact, they are all natural. So I decided to research the consumption instructions for the tea, where I was sure I would find the Tiny Tea's devilish secrets. And that's actually where I found my biggest surprise. The consumption instructions are incredibly simple. If you are a healthy person and you already have a healthy diet, you can continue eating as normal. 3 meals a day, don't cut anything out. They do provide you with a couple lists of suggested foods that are good for your digestive system and foods that are not so good. For example, this is one I didn't know. They suggest that you drink water at room temperature or hotter because freezing cold water is actually really harmful or makes things difficult for you to digest. So you can follow those instructions if you want, but they're very loose. They're just kind of recommendations. Otherwise, if you're a healthy person, you can continue eating just as you were before. The instructions also suggest that you continue a regular workout routine. If you're someone who doesn't exercise, it just suggests that you find a way to incorporate some moderate exercise into your daily life. The only real instruction there is for the tea is that you should drink it 3 times a day, 30 minutes before or after each meal. So after reading all of this information, I agreed to review the tea. Although at this point I was still unsure how the tea could benefit me specifically. I'm not interested in losing weight. I'm a healthy person and I exercise regularly, but at this point I was just too curious and I had to review it. So here's the box they sent me for the 14-day TEAtox. Here's the Tiny Tea, and I wanted to do this review after I had gone through the whole detox, so the box is empty, but there's a couple tea bags left in here. This is what they look like, but normally this would be completely full because you need to drink it 3 times a day. And they come in these cute little pink packages, each of them, and each of the tea blends has like a corresponding color. So the Tiny Tea TEAtox is pink. They also sent me some happy tea, and as you can see, that is yellow. So the first thing I noticed when I got the package in the mail is the strong smell that came from the package. Kind of smells like dried herbs or incense or something like that, which may throw you off a little bit because most people drink tea for the pleasant taste and smell, which this does not have. I've also prepared one of the tea bags for myself right now, so I can show you what it looks like. It looks like pretty standard tea. When you taste it, just like the smell, it might throw you off a little bit because it doesn't taste very good. Best way I can describe it is just taking a shovel of earth full of dirt and leaves and mixing it in hot water. They do suggest on the website that if you want, you can add a little bit of honey and lemon. And after I did that, I not only just tolerated the taste, I actually really started to enjoy it. So that's how you can deal with the taste, but it didn't really bother me because I didn't expect it to taste that good. It's not designed to taste good necessarily, it's designed to help your digestive system. So like I said, you have to drink the tea 3 times a day, and at first I found it difficult to make tea 3 times a day wherever I was. So I suggest when you get up in the morning, brew 2 cups of tea, have your first tea before breakfast, and then have your second tea in a thermos ready to drink with lunch, because sometimes you can't really predict where or when you're going to be eating lunch, so your tea will be ready. And then by the time you're home for dinner, you can brew your 3rd cup of tea. After I got into the routine of drinking the tea, I actually found it pretty easy to have it prepared and ready before each meal. And I also noticed something very strange. Eventually, I just stopped adding lemon and honey to the tea, and I started enjoying it just the way it was. I don't know if it grew on me, but now I drink it with no honey. I think the first week I drank it with honey every time, and then after that I just started drinking it plain. So how did the tea affect my body? Truthfully, I am super pleased and surprised by my results. I've already recommended the tea to several of my family members and friends, and I'm really excited for them to try it as well. This is why. First, I have to say that the tiny tea is absolutely not a laxative, and I didn't experience any changes in my bathroom routine. I don't know if that's too much information, but just in case you wanted to know. One thing I noticed is that about halfway through the detox, I no longer crave sweets and chocolate the way that I used to. I used to eat chocolate almost every single night, and then I just stopped craving it completely. Another thing I noticed is that I no longer craved coffee, which I was drinking every morning. I felt happy and energized just all on my own, just with the tea in the morning. Because I'm a pescatarian, most of my diet consists of vegetables and carbs, which tend to make you feel bloated. And I've never considered myself a bloated person or somebody who felt bloated all the time. But after doing the TEAtox, it was like I realized what it felt like to not be bloated all of a sudden. And I felt so much lighter. My workout routine felt easier for me. I felt more energized, and I started to feel at peace with my stomach and my digestive system in a way that I hadn't really felt before. I do not believe that tiny tea is some kind of miracle. I do believe that eating nutritiously and exercising regularly is the key to staying in shape and healthy. However, I have to say that tiny tea did help me regulate my meals. Because I had to think about drinking a cup of tea before each meal, it made me eat 3 meals a day. I stopped skipping breakfast, and I stopped eating late at night because I drank my tea with my meals. It also helped me get rid of a lot of my more unhealthy cravings. I tried to come up with the best analogy that I could, and this is all I came up with, but I want to help you understand what tiny tea has done for me. Running is my favorite way to work out. So in order to stay in shape, running is one of the best things I can do for my body. However, a great new pair of running shoes or an iPod to listen to music while I'm running can greatly improve my workout. It can make staying healthy more fun, it can make it easier. So for me, tiny tea was like a great new pair of running shoes for my stomach. I hope that made sense. Alright, I put the link to Your Tea's website in the description. You guys should check it out if you're interested. I highly recommend you give it a try. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions, and I will see you guys next time.